Hello and welcome to this tutorial on wireframe. Not polyframe, but wireframe. We're going to create some real geometry wireframe. I'm going to have a link below the video if you want to try this Z-script, and you have to manually load it. It's not a plugin. We'll go to Z-script here and press load, and we got the easy wireframe. Now Bleedstar is the one that came up with this idea. I created a Z-script out of it and a little bit of modification, so credit to him. We're going to open this up. Come down here at the bottom of the tutorial view window and click that to open that up. Now we got these buttons down here at the bottom. We got the single wire, the double wire, the do all subtools here, square frame fill, and the cross frame. Now it's very important that we have low polygon counts. If not, this could cause ZBrush to crash. Right now we got some higher polygons, but if we come to the geometry here, we still have the slider that we can crank this down here, and it does have lower subdivision levels. Now if I would have brought this cube in here and it didn't have no subdivision levels right here and it had a lot of polygons, probably wouldn't work. Doesn't matter where this slider is at right now, but as long as it has low polygons, this is going to work fine. Alright, so we must do this in order. So once your tool is selected out here, we're going to select one of these three buttons. Alright, so we're going to select the square frame here, and then we need to switch back to the original tool. Must do this in order. Then we're going to press the single here. Turn off the polyframe, and this is the wireframe of the geometry here. When I select this button here, it takes that cube and it lowers the subdivision levels anyway. So I'll just do that one more time real quick, just to show you how it's done. Tool selected. Need to come over here and select one of these buttons. Need to switch back to the tool. Then we'll select the single here. Alright, simple enough. So we're going to go to the next one here, the next step. Let me press F on the keyboard to frame that up a little bit. Now I'm going to do the double one here. Alright, since I got a new project out here, I'm going to select the square frame again. Alright, then I need to switch back to the tool. This time I'm going to select the double. What this is going to do is it's going to keep the original cube and just create a geometry wireframe over top of it. So we'll press double. Then we get something like this. So if we open up the subtools here, if I turn on the solo, which will only show the active tool that's selected, you can see the wireframe here and the cube here. So basically that's how that works. The double just keeps the original mesh. So we're going to open up Lightbox and we're going to select the tool and let's select the demo soldier here. F on the keyboard to frame that back. And once again, since we start a new project, we need to select one of these. I'm going to select the square frame, switch back to the tool, and this time I'm going to use all subtools. This is going to convert all the subtools into a frame. So we'll just select that and give it a few seconds. And let's give it a quick render and see what it looks like. And you get something like that. Kind of neat. Alright, so let's go on to the next step here. Alright, since we started a new project, we're going to select here. Select back to the dome soldier. And this time, since the body is active, it's only going to do the body with a single one here. And let's alt click the boots here. I'm going to frame this up a little bit here, and we're going to do the single here. And if I was to alt click the vest up here and do double, it'll keep the vest and put a wireframe over top of it. Alright, the thing not to do is when you start using the single or the double, don't jump over here and use the all subtools, because these are already wireframed once, and if you wireframe them over them again, it's just going to double up the geometry and it probably will look a little bit thinner, and that's not how it works. So don't combine these the single or the double with all subtools. When you start using the single or the double, always stay with them. If I press all subtools, it probably would not work. Okay. So let's go ahead and open up black box here. Go to projects. We're going to frame that up. Now let's say that I wanted to create my own instead of selecting one of these ones down here. Well, there's a couple ways that you can do it. If I was to import something, let's say an OBJ, well, what we want to do is when we get done, we want to save that. So I'll do a little example. I'm not going to import nothing right now, but let's say this was an imported OBJ. Let me just go ahead and do a few things here. It's got a lot of polygons, so I do want to turn the subdivision levels down on here a little bit. We'll make something kind of like, we'll just tone it down just a little bit. Let's say this was an OBJ. What you want to do is when you bring it in, just make a polymesh 3D and just export that. And no, I'll save as ETL. I'm sorry. And we're gonna just save that as a ring. Then what we're gonna do is, we're gonna act like we're gonna start all over here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure our tool is selected. What we're gonna start with. Then we're gonna load tool. Put that ring in here. Switch back. Then press single. And get something like that. Alright. Let's say that I just wanted to use a primitive and I didn't want to load a tool. So let's go ahead and load our original mesh there, which you already have out here. And let's just select a cylinder here. Now I want to strap that cylinder on the cube. So for me to do that, I can do any kind of adjustments down here. I do want to lower the subdivision level because it does help out quite a bit. Then I'm going to make that a polymesh 3D. Once I do this, this will work. So I'll make that a polymesh 3D. Select the cube. And then we'll go back to single here. And we'll get something like that. Load cube, and we're going to go into the next step here. Okay, this time I'm going to use the cross frame here. This is also a poly group, and it can be group split. Switch back to the cube here. And this time I'll just use the double on this one real quick. And we'll turn on the solo, and you can kind of see how that looks. We can also group split this one here. We'll group split it. And since solo's on, we can take a look and see these here. Let's say I wanted to just delete that one here. And we can merge this one down. So we'll come down here and merge down. And we get something like that. Another thing that you can do with these, since this tool is active, we can go down here to the deformation and we can kind of inflate that if we want to, or deflate it to get different effects. Let me just load one up so we see it just a little bit better, and we'll go to tools here. do the one with square frame. And that frame is active. And let's come down here and we'll kind of inflate that a little bit. You can use any of these brushes on here if you want to. And get something like that. We're going to do one of the car body here. Turn on the solo here, and if we go and turn on the poly frames and we'll geometry here, and we'll just lower that down so we can take a better look at it. And you can see like here in the door, the polygons are kind of long here and a little bit shorter here. Now frames will match right over the same, the height and width, and basically what you see is what you get when I put the frame over top of them. So if I put the frame over this door here and it's got a real wide polygon, well, that frame's also going to be wide and match it. Up here in the fender, if it's short, it'll also match the shortness. So like I said, it doesn't matter where this slider's at, because once I select a button over here, it's going to drop this to the lowest subdivision level anyway. So with that said, let's go ahead and select the frame that we want to use on this. I want to use that frame, and select back here. Let's turn off the poly frame here, and we'll do the single here. And we get something like that. And you get this frame of the car here. And you can see how right here in the doors where this is real wide on the polygons. And we'll do a quick render here. And we get something like that. Once again, we can just alt click anything here. We'll select this wheel here, and we'll convert that one over here to a frame. Well, the rim. I'll go to the wheel next here. Let's make sure I got that wheel selected here. Yep. This time I'm going to use double. I'm going to keep the wheel and put a frame over the top of it. It might be a little hard to see in the video, so let me go ahead and there you go. You can kind of see a little bit better here. Let's switch that over to you can see the whiteness around the rim here. And I'm going to show you one more thing that you can do this, and which is kind of cool. Then I'm going to wrap up this part. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do the body one more time. Show you something kind of cool here. We're going to use the square frame fill. And we're going to switch that back. And then we're going to use the single on here. Alright, then we got this wireframe. We're going to go over here to the subtool. And let's turn on the solo so we can see this. Now I'm going to do a group split. So we're going to come over here and group split this. Alright, we got this here, the wireframe. Then we got this cut right here. And where it's cutting through here. And I'm going to make this transparent. So if I come down here to the display property and turn on the transparency right here. We'll turn all this back on here. Then this is, we're going to render this with transparency. And we get something like that. I probably need to switch to maybe a different material to make it look a little bit better. Let me try something like, try something real lighter. I'm going to pause the video for just a second. The reason why I paused the video because I wanted to switch over to the a little bit lighter material here so you can kind of see through the body here. and it makes it a little bit easier to see. So, and the render takes a little bit of time, so I'll just render it one more time. You see I kind of got this, you can see the seat in the back and kind of see through the body here. Might be a little bit hard in the video, but it looks really clear here. Alright, another little tip here. We're going to do the body here, and this is a way that we can get around. Remember I said earlier, if you're using the single button, you start using this one or the double one, don't combine it with all the subtools. I'm going to show you a little workaround about how to do that. So I'm going to do the cross frame for the body. I'm going to switch back, and then I'm going to do the single. And then there's our body. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and clone that one. And this is our clone here. You can see right there is our clone. I moved the slider here, so we need to go back to the original one. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and delete that one right now. Alright, now I want to make the rest of these a square one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the square here. Switch back to the original merge one here. Then I'm going to do all the subtools. Now this is probably going to take a little time here because there's a lot of parts, and you can see it cycling through the subtools, and it'll start going down. And there's stuff in the back that you're probably not seeing right now, but you'll eventually see everything turn into a square wireframe. So you see the seats just change there in a second. There it goes. And I don't know, there's quite a bit of parts here, so bear with me. And this file here is pretty heavy. This car was not made by me, it was made by somebody else, so I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, so credit to him on the car. Alright, it's getting pretty close. I think that was it. So now I want to bring that the one with the cross on it, so we're going to go ahead and press append, and we're going to need to find that one that has the cross one here. So that one was that one there. And there's a quick render there. Again, I always pause the video when I'm rendering, so if you see any changes and you can see me click something, it's because I paused the video. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and use the slice curve here. So we're going to go ahead and drag down here. And since it's polygroup here, we can go over to the subtool here and group split that. Select wireframe. Let's come back over here. Let's turn that off right there so we see a little bit better. Then you can get something like that. I'm going to alt click this top piece here. We're going to do the cross here. Switch back and select single. Let me zoom that in just a little bit so you can kind of see that. Here's a ring I used the decimation master on. So we'll just do this one here with a square frame, and switch it back, and you can see how the polygons are all kind of triangulated there, and we'll just process out, and so it looks like when it's done. And you get something like that, and we'll select here again and make this polymesh 3D. So you can see here the polyframes and anything that's visible. So if I used to do this and Control Shift click, actually what I want to do is switch this back over here. You see here, we'll select the let's do the cross frame on this one here. Well, actually no, I want to do the square frame fill. And we're going to go ahead and do the single. Probably need to come down here and turn on display property and double-sided. And we can group split that. And use something like that. And last one, we'll do one on a gear. Anyway, I think this is about ready to wrap it up. So I can see a little bit better, we'll just do one more render here, and we're going to call it quits. And there you go. And thank you very much.